Hey, howdy, Night Owls Disc Golf Podcast. I want to start out by just saying, let's jump online and give us a like, give us a share. And if you have any questions, throw at doordiscgolf.com and we can make sure to bring them up on air. And we'll also grease the squeaky chair because I can hear it in the background. But this is the Night Owls Disc Golf Podcast. I'm Shane.
And I'm JP.
And today we are going to do a little talking. I think that's my chair. Yeah, that's my chair. So I'm going to switch chairs at the same time as telling you what we're going to talk about today. So what we're going to do is we're going to... Exactly, we're good. So we're going to go and talk about what we bought today, obviously, of this week. And I know I bought stuff.
I bought stuff.
I'm pretty sure you did because there's a couple drops that happened this week.
Yeah.
We're going to go back over our manufacturer grading. So what we actually gave our manufacturers grades on, I don't know, it was a couple, 3-4 weeks ago.
Well, at least.
At least. So what we're going to do is now that the season has started, these players are playing, we are going to basically regrade them and say whether they're doing what we expected them to do. We're also going to kind of give a little Paul Uleberry shout out and what he's doing. We're going to go over Waco. We're going to talk specifically about the FPO Europeans. And then shop update, question of the week. And I'm sure we'll hit some tangents there.
Yep.
So
sounds good.
JP, while I switch chairs, what'd you buy?
Today was the day that I was talking about last week's episode. The FDs came out. And so I bought 3.
Nice.
Yeah. And so I got a clear one, which sold out pretty fast, apparently.
Yeah.
A red and a green. And then yesterday, actually, the first runs came out, but I totally forgot about it.
I did too.
And it was like 10 o'clock or 10:30 because I went out. We got 6 inches of snow the night before. So I was out snow blowing the driveway, and I come back in. I was like, there's something that I wanted to do today besides snowblow. Mm-hmm. And I look online and I'm like, oh yeah, first run FDs, not a big deal. I mean, it's more of a collector's thing than...
That would have definitely been a hanger. I missed them too.
Yeah. But yeah, those are my purchases for the week. And those will be throwers, except for probably the clear one. The clear one I might just keep as a collector.
Man, they're so I love throwing clear discs, but if you don't watch them land, they're like black.
Yeah.
You just lose them.
Yeah. Like I had a Eric Oakley Ice Felon that I threw in a field once, and I was like, I saw where it landed, but I thought I was in the spot, and it took me like 15 minutes to find it.
It was that McRae Fuse. They had the ice ones.
Yep.
And same thing. I was throwing those all over the place, and then I just realized if it's in shadows, lost.
Yeah.
Just incredible, especially once the stamp kind of wears down. Mm-hmm. Man. So throwers, hangers, or flippers?
Oh yeah, throwers for sure.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I've mentioned before Night Strike 2, which is a C-line, low C-line, but I don't have a regular C-line in the bag. So, okay. And obviously the numbers on these are a little different than the older Innova runs, so I'll throw it, definitely. I'm going to throw it in the bag right away. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I'm excited to see how they actually fly compared to what I threw Vinny's, compared to the old FDs, compared to the Dong Rebels, now going to these FDs. So.
And I even throw the Infinite Disc Centurion, which is like a close like cousin to it as well. So it'll be interesting to see.
Yeah, I'm excited. So I did the same thing, but I only got 2 yellows.
Okay.
So I went on, the clears were gone, reds were gone, all the other purples, whatever other colors there were. Everything was gone except for green, pink, and yellow, if I remember rightly. So I just picked up 2 yellows. I didn't want green, and I actually have quite a bit of pink in my bag, so I didn't just want another pink on top of it.
Yeah.
So I grabbed 2 yellows.
I'm curious because I feel like the green's probably going to be close to the yellow. Like, I don't think there will be a bunch. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't think so. It's probably just one of those this one has a little greener, this one's, because it's a lot of times when we get discs in the shop, there'll be a whole stack of yellow. And there's variations, like some will be kind of green, some will be like the Ledgestone Scorches. There's yellow, but there's also green, like kind of in that same hue. But if you hold them apart from one another, they're both yellow. Mm-hmm. So
Also, finding green discs isn't too fun in the spring and then in the summer.
No, it's not. It's not. And especially if they're green,
Yeah.
green. So I purchased those FDs and I will plan on throwing them. They plan on going straight in the bag. And hopefully they're everything I want them to be. But we'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see. Anything else?
Nope, that's all I bought.
All right.
Yeah.
So let's get right into the manufacturer grading. So, no, you know what? You want to do Waco first?
Yeah, let's go over the results and then we can kind of break down
Exactly.
after.
Yeah, I think that'll be more appropriate. So, I did MPO last week, or did you? Or does it matter?
I don't think it matters. But
Okay, so I'll start with MPO, and we'll go over. We'll just go over tied for fifth. That encompasses about 8 people.
Yeah.
I want to say watching the Waco, I got to watch quite a bit of it this time, and the Beast was a beast. Brazos was a beast to these people.
Especially the first day was
Yes.
ridiculous with the wind and how cold it was. I was like, hey, that's Wisconsin in the spring.
Yeah. Shout out Nick Carl.
Yeah.
Dude, lit it up that first round.
-8.
Yeah, and that's fantastic. And
Yeah.
I didn't see where he ended up placing. I think he slipped pretty far down.
Pretty far down. That second round, I think he was +2 for the round.
Yeah,
And he just kind of slid off. He was talking about it on the podcast today. I think he was feeling some pressure.
I
being on
believe it.
camera and
He really. Yeah. He ended up tied for 60th.
yeah,
so,
I think he said he just missed cash.
Yeah, but
Tied to Simon
nevertheless.
and Nate Perkins.
Yeah, Ben Calloway.
Yeah, there's some notable people down that way.
Yeah, he finished better than Brody Smith. Finished better than Scott Stokely. Finished better than there's quite a few of them. I was really hoping that Brody Smith would show up, but he just kept getting these triple and quadruple bogeys, and especially the last round. He has 1, 2, 3, 4. He has 3 double or better bogeys. Plus 3 more bogeys.
Look at hole 17. Like, look at the amount of bogeys or double bogeys on that hole. It's ridiculous.
No.
That hole just eats people up.
Yeah, we're on UDisc Live, and I mean, just all the way to the top. They're just yellow or orange, which yellow is double.
A few blue,
Yeah.
for birdies trickled in, but
Very few. Kevin Jones
Yeah.
got one. Oh my goodness. Is there anybody else that got one in the last round?
Luke Humphreys,
Humphreys got one?
yeah, he birdied.
On 17? 17 he did. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, 17. But there is a deuce for Kevin Jones on 18, and I did not see that. I did not hear about that, but how?
Oh man, yeah, wow.
Well, no, on 18. 18 is doable.
yeah.
17, I'm sorry, is what I was thinking. But
Oh, okay, well, yeah, 18's still across the water.
yeah, it's still across the water. But I can see that. I mean, they were throwing putters. Kevin Jones and
Yeah.
who was it, Gilbert?
Oh yeah, I saw that video where they were
Yeah.
trucking them across. Someone barely, I forgot who was with. Someone threw into the water. Maybe it was Thomas Gilbert.
Yeah. 468 feet
Yeah,
with a putter.
yeah. I mean, Simon did it 2 years ago. Yeah, Sky God.
Sky God. Yep. All right. So I liked the coverage. Thought the coverage was well. It didn't seem like they used the drone much. They did use it, but it wasn't as predominant as it was in Vegas. I thought coverage was well. I thought the commentary was fantastic. I know I saw Terry put out a post saying that he was sorry for his commentary and all that stuff on Facebook, and everybody's like, what?
Oh, really?
Yeah, and I didn't see or hear anything that was inexcusable. I enjoyed his dynamic. Obviously we can pick apart and do things, but I wish Earhart would have been involved in more of the play-by-play rather than the field commentary.
Right. But I suppose that's his first foray into it. So get him out that way, and then they can get him in the booth later to kind of work. I mean, he's got, through Gatekeeper, he's done enough where he has experience. But
it's kind of the big show.
Yeah.
When you talk about Jomez and the Disc Golf Pro Tour, like that is the show. So when you're talking about live, like I was super impressed with it. the cuts back and forth from card to card and some of the backups, they were able to pick up some of the notable players. Like they flashed on Brody Smith quite a bit. They flashed on a couple of these folks quite a bit. And I think KJ USA was doing some work at one point and they cut over to him a few times. So, there's a couple times it was pretty nice. But so we'll go all the way through, tied through 5th, which encompasses, like I said, 9 people basically. So we'll go through 10th. So starting at the bottom at 15 under was Nicola Castro and Alex Russell. Dickerson, Isaac Robinson, Cale LaVisca, Aaron Gossage, Thomas Gilbert, all tied for 5th at 16 under. 17 under and is Chris Clemens and Freeman. So both of them. And look at Freeman.
Yeah.
Coming off a heater and coming in 4th at the Beast, like at Brazos. That's fantastic. And then Luke Humphreys shows up again. So 4th in Vegas. And then he shows up here 2nd.
Yeah.
Who'd ever thought?
Right.
Like, I mean, nothing against Luke Humphreys. Like, I think the only person I've ever heard talk about Luke Humphreys is Jordan.
Oh,
I
really?
mean, that's the only time.
I guess.
Or no, who would, no, not Jordan. Cameron.
Oh, really?
Because he liked his mustache and then he shaved
Oh,
it.
okay. Yeah. But Luke is, from what I hear, he was really working on his putting this season. He was throwing that A5 all over the place, which is really understable mid-range. But, it's funny because people kind of, they had on Jomez for the final round, they had that intro with him,
Yes.
talking about him being Emerald champ. And then he was rookie of the year, I think in 2019. And then, you kind of didn't hear from him for a while. And, he just pops up as the host of GK Pro Skins. But the amount of time, like the amount of course walking he does, with that and just getting out on the course and walking is remarkable.
Yeah.
And, he put Paul to the test.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it was a lot closer than it looked. That last round, Luke Humphreys took himself out with the double bogey and bogey, hole 1 and 2.
Yeah.
That's where he lost the tournament right there. Because in reality, I mean, what is he sitting 3 back? And that is really where he lost those 3, was those first 2 holes.
And the last hole, he played it short and he said he wanted to try to win it with a throw in. And even if he threw it in, because Paul had gone OB, I think he would have ended up tying.
Yes, with Paul's upshot, Paul wasn't missing putts, basically. I mean, he was putting the pressure on Paul to make the putt for the tie.
Yeah.
So it wouldn't have been for the win, but it would have pushed into a
And
tie.
like when he threw it, it was probably like chain high, but it just ended up sailing right past the boards. Like there's a nice open space, that he just kind of rolled out to the left.
Yeah, and I mean, awesome to throw that in, to give it that look. It was fantastic. And then there was Paul. I mean, Paul played not to the Beast standard, but pretty darn well.
Right.
I mean,
his putting was
well.
pretty good.
His putting was nails. He said after it that circle 2 was what he was really hoping to focus on now. But he's flawless through the season so far.
Right.
Both first place, only 2 tournaments he's been in, and fairly handedly won both of those tournaments. So,
Yeah.
I mean, you can't fault the man. He's there.
And Chris Dickerson fell pretty hard. He was up there battling with Paul and Luke, and Cale was up there for a little bit. Then he kind of, fell off. Had a really bad roll away on 17.
Oh, horrible.
It was unbelievable.
Yeah.
And Chris kind of took himself out too with some nasty bogeys and double bogeys.
Yep.
But
the shot I want to talk about is second round, Paul on 17 catches the limbs, drops behind.
Right.
Was that the last round no? That was second
round.
He catches the limbs of those
Spike
2
hyzer.
guardian trees. Yeah, and then he throws this forehand spike through like this avenue that didn't even exist, all over OB.
It was crazy.
And just absolutely parks it.
Yeah.
15 feet?
Yeah.
If that.
Right. Like I briefly caught it for a second because I was watching Joe Matt's pro commercials, and all of a sudden they're like, what did he just do? Like ridiculous.
An incredible shot.
Yeah.
And I was watching that live, and they're like, "Oh, it looks like he's lining up the. He's not going to lay up. He's going to line up the overhand." And then when he threw it, Nate did Nate things and really freaked out about how hard the throw was. But then you hear, the other commentators like, that is a one that is like Nate Doss was freaking out, and then Nate Sexton. And then Terry, and it was funny because Terry a couple times was saying, "Well, it looks like he left himself short." He's like, "No, that's Park, Terry," and just amazing. I would have never even thought to take that gap.
No,
but I would have just played up to the corner and taken my bogey, but an amazing throw from where he hit so early. And then that was the one where Kale played the turnover from. It's just an absolute prime position. Didn't play the forehand. Tried to play a turnover, and just with the way the wind was hitting, it just held it out and pushed it out into the water.
Yeah,
and that kind of hurt Kale on that one.
But last year Kale was runner up last year. So I mean, he plays well at this course.
Yeah,
He's just Dr. Smooth.
Paul dropped back to 3 last year.
Nico Kale,
Paul.
I think so. Yeah.
Okay.
And this was Paul's second time winning Waco.
Yeah. So all in all, I mean, awesome to watch. I personally did not watch any of the FPO coverage yet.
Oh, okay.
I will.
Yeah.
But I didn't personally watch any of it. I watched highlights. I didn't watch the thing. But if you want to go over up to position 10 again. So
Sure. So at 10, we have Maria Oliva at +2. At 9, Evelina Salonen with +1. 6, Paige Pierce at even, tied with Macy Valadides and Henna Blomroos. At 4, we have Owen Scoggins, -1, tied with Kat Murch. Katrina Allen at 3 with a -2. Kristen Tatar, -5 at 2. That was a kind of a brain fart there. And then Valerie Manduhano, -9, taking down her first Disc Golf Pro Tour victory.
good for her.
Absolutely, yeah.
The first time I saw Valerie play was in the Brothers versus Sisters YouTube with Paul and his brother.
Yeah.
And then the Mandujano sisters.
Yes.
And it was amazing how pure their throws were and putts. And I'm watching Valerie, I was like, man, she's going to be good.
Yeah. So crazy stat that I heard is her average finish is 4th place at
Really?
tournaments. Yes.
So she's not a closer, but man, she's always in it.
Right. Yeah.
Well, now she is. She's a closer now.
Right. Yeah. so that's a she's played a lot of A tiers and gotten a lot of wins in Texas, and she's solid. That was a good pickup for DD.
Yeah.
Coming from Innova. So
and we'll talk about DD's choices coming up pretty soon.
Yep.
But awesome for Valerie. And surprise, or maybe not surprise, Kristen Tatar.
Yeah.
Still up there.
Right.
I mean, she's been killing it. She's been right there, if not winning, everything she's been involved in.
Yeah.
She hasn't been, she's been on the podium in every tournament she's been in, right?
I think, yeah.
I believe so.
She won Memorial. She was 3rd at Vegas, is that right?
Yeah, I believe so. Of course, you don't have her profile. Yeah. So, I mean, I'm just
she's been the most consistent European so far coming here.
Right.
Evelina was the leader after round 1, and then round 2 kind of got her a little bit, and then round 3, she just fell off hard. I mean, she had putting woes. She wasn't looking comfortable. Whereas the first day, she was looking the most comfortable in the elements where people weren't looking so comfortable.
Right. And speaking of Henna as well, what happened? And it seems to be putting woes. They're just something she's just not confident over a putter, it seems like. Mm-hmm. I don't know. I mean, I don't know because I don't know her game very well, and I don't know Salonen's game very well. But yeah, every time she steps up to a putt, it was. I listened to a podcast. I don't remember who it was, or an interview with her. I don't remember who it was, but he was talking. Christina Allen didn't feel like she ever had putting woes.
Right, I heard that too. That was the Trevor.
Was it Trevor Strauss?
Yeah, I think
whatever his name
he
is.
just
Yeah.
had her on. Yeah,
Yeah, and I'm like, really? You didn't think you had putting woes?
yeah, I know. Kind of crazy to think about. Like,
But Hannah Blumroos gives me that same, when she steps up to it, she doesn't feel like that aura about her just feels like she's not going to put it in. And Katrina Allen sitting right there. I mean, third, and she's been basically in the question every tournament she's been in. So I don't think you can really say that she's not doing what she should be doing and she's not putting in the work.
right?
New bag, and she's been in competition every single tournament. So that's great. Paige, I don't know. I don't want to do the washed up thing because she's not, but it's one of those things like she hasn't quite been relevant yet
Right.
this season.
Right.
She's still Paige Pierce, and she's still doing awesome things, but man, she's just hasn't been relevant as far as in relevancy for winning.
Yeah, I know someone was talking about that too. They're like, when do you think Paige is gonna step it up and win? And they're like, well, possibly at Texas State. She plays traditionally well at Jonesboro. Mm-hmm. So I mean, we might see her pick it up by then, and rattle off some wins or get some steady podium finishes by then.
Right. Yeah. So I hope she does. Because I think having her in the mix rather than not in the mix is only better for the sport.
Yeah.
So, I'm excited to see when she finally turns on the gas. And maybe she is. Maybe she's just not playing good yet. Who knows? So, but I'd like to see it when it flips, that switch flips.
Yeah, I know.
So, because I'd love to see her up there in the top, and in cat merch, like she's been up there a couple times now.
Yeah, she played well at Vegas, and now to have fourth is pretty awesome.
Yeah.
So, what highlights have you seen? Like, obviously, you probably saw Valerie's shot on 17.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, that was incredible. Like, Kirsten put some pressure on her to make that shot.
Yes.
But, yeah, I mean, that's the one thing that comes to mind is her throwing that getaway. And she said she like relied on it quite a bit.
Oh, really? Okay.
Throughout the round. So, yeah, I mean, that's the one shot that sticks out. But super emotional interview at the end, talking about her first win in Texas. Yeah.
Okay. Because she is Texas native, right?
Yeah, she is. Yeah. And she dedicated it to her grandfather who had passed away towards, I think, on December 31st is what I heard. So
okay.
She didn't really know if she wanted to go out on, like, how soon she wanted to go out on tour, wanted to hold off, and then to come here, and it was like extra special being from in her home state and taking it down.
Yeah. Well, and that's awesome. I mean, anytime you lose someone pivotal in your life, I mean, we've seen it happen on tour, and a lot of people deal with it different ways, but it's hard. It's hard to adjust. Sometimes people just dive in, and that's how they get their comfort, and other times people just need some time to decompress. And so that's awesome. She comes out and does that, and then does it in kind of the name of her grandfather, it sounds like. So that's fantastic.
And hopefully she can just stay. I'd like to see her finish pretty high because I think she's a very promising. Like, she's young, but like she has a really good career ahead of her, and her sister as well. Her sister is pretty solid. Both of them kind of going out on tour full time. Maybe quite a few stops last year, but I think this is like the full swing.
And I don't know if we said it on the podcast or we said it. Sorry, I've got wires tangled up here. I don't know if we said it on the podcast or we said it in casual conversation, but when we were talking about the gets of the year as far as contracts go, I was saying that I felt that Mandahano probably should have got a bigger deal than Kona. If I was looking at the two,
too. Yeah,
I think I remember the conversation came up, but I agreed with it whether it was or not. So, but yeah, I mean, yet to be proven, or maybe it is.
Yeah, I don't know.
At this point,
I don't know where Kona ended up finishing. Really, I mean, last year's winner, I didn't really.
She wasn't. I mean, she was pretty far down. but she wasn't like, yeah, she was pretty far down. Okay. So 33rd.
Oh,
Yeah. Yeah. So,
after a minus 12 last year.
Yeah.
Or no, she beat the, I don't know if it was minus 12, but she beat everybody by 12 strokes, I think is what it was.
yeah.
Yeah. That's
It
what
was, it was fairly dominant performance last year. I don't remember where it was either, but, so let's go from there since we started talking about Mandahano and Panis. So let's regrade. So just as a recap, so we'll start with dynamic discs. We gave DD and, DD, which also includes West Side, because we kind of threw West Side in there.
Yeah.
But we gave DD an A. Both of us gave it an A. How do you think they're performing? Do you think they're still at an A, or are they slipping on their
I think they've
assignments?
slipped.
Okay.
With Kona not playing up to her standards, I would say, and probably a lot of other people's standards.
Do you think it's standards or expectations?
Expectations? Yeah.
I agree.
And then I think Ricky would say he's not playing to his standards, though. And maybe he has a little, his expectations are higher as well. But, I mean, he hasn't not that he's not panned out, because I'm sure he's helping him sell discs and things. But just his performance as of right now isn't great. Valerie Mandahano obviously has a win, and I think she played decent. I don't know if she played Vegas. I think she did.
I don't know.
Mason Ford, I don't think he played too great here. But yeah, I would say they slipped just a little bit, probably down to like a B minus, somewhere around there for me.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you're thinking a B minus.
Yeah, so far.
And I think it's based on, I think very, very rightfully so. I'm gonna give them a little better. I'm gonna say a B. They still have Ricky. Ricky's still out there. Ricky's still doing things. I think the thing where they really slipped, and I'm not picking on her. I think there's just expectations that were given and put on her with the money and the highlight of why they picked her up. Is Kona, and her putting's getting much better. It's there. But for her to have that much pressure on her, and I think this is also the excuse that she has so much pressure on her, and so much so that she feels it's proper to delete social media apps off of her phone when she was given that contract because of her social media presence. And somewhat on her play, somewhat on her attitude. But I think for the most part, it was her marketing value. And she falls off of that. Mandahano, I think, was a fantastic pickup, and that's why I'm not pushing him lower. And then Ricky, I think, he's not horrible. He's not underperforming at the same level, and I would never say he's horrible in the first place,
right.
but he hasn't been on lead card. He hasn't been on camera. Other than cutting to him because he's Ricky Wysocki, he's only been on feature cards. He hasn't held any of those top rungs. And I think he's just getting used back to the disc, or back used to the discs.
Yeah, that could be.
Yep.
Yeah.
Or he's washed up.
Hardly.
Yeah, exactly. So I will put them at a B. So, all right. You had, we'll go with Discmania. A C.
Yeah. Okay. I believe I gave them a C because they didn't make any noteworthy moves. They had promoted some people. They signed Cynthia Ricciardi, and I still haven't. I'm same. C for me. Yeah.
I don't see anything
noticeable.
really noticeable from any of them either. So, and I gave them a C minus. So I'm gonna just stay right at that C or C minus because I don't think there really is anything of note that makes them stand out any more than they already have.
Yeah.
So there's no needle moving there. All right, DGA. So we gave DGA, I gave him a C plus, you gave him a B minus. So my C plus, I think, is, if I regrade them now, I think extra credit has been given with Alan, and I want to push Alan, and I want to push mine up to. I'm just going up one grade letter, and I'm going to push him to a B. So a B minus, actually.
Okay.
And I think that's just because the performance of Christina Allen.
Katrina?
Why do I always do
Because you keep
that?
thinking of Kristen Tatar.
Kristen Tatar, Katrina Allen. Okay. Kat.
Yeah.
I think the performance of Kat has been phenomenal. Mm-hmm. So to see Katrina Allen perform the way she's been performing and how her putt is just seems to be pretty solid. And I didn't think she was going to adjust to those discs as quickly as she did. And she has just absolutely taken off with them. And her social media presence has gotten a lot better through DGA.
Has.
So I'm going to put them up into the B minus.
Okay. Yeah, I think I'm going to keep mine the same for now.
So you're staying with the B minus.
Yeah. And part of that, too, is I haven't seen a whole lot of Andrew Marweed. Mm-hmm. I think he played decent at Vegas. But other than that, yeah.
Yeah.
You know, it's kind of incomplete.
Right. You know, and I never really... I mean, Marweed is a player. He's top 25. Like I said, I don't think he's a needle mover. Mm-hmm. Katrina Allen is, and I think with the way she's performing, they deserve a little better bump. But yeah, so Discraft. So we both gave Discraft a B.
Yeah. I'm going to say B minus.
Okay, so you're downgrading just slightly.
Just slightly. Mm-hmm. I expected Chris Dickerson to perform a little better. Mm-hmm. And I mean, not that he hasn't played well. I mean, he was in this tournament.
He was in the hunt here.
He was in the hunt, and he just fell off maybe by bad luck. But yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he ended up 6 off the lead, but in contention that whole time he was running with Luke, and he was kind of going back and forth, and then all of a sudden he just kind of fell off. Let's see, where was he at? Yeah, the last 2 holes is where he just absolutely tanked.
Yeah.
Of this last round. He was kind of never really in the conversation at Vegas.
Right.
And did he play Memorial?
I think he did.
Yeah, and I don't know if he was really in the conversation of Memorial ever either.
If he was either.
So, yeah. So I kind of keep them the same because they still have their predominant runners as far as who is... But, you know, like Aaron Gossage, now I don't know if he was a new signing or not, but all of a sudden he's there.
Yeah.
And he's doing well. Mm-hmm. Last 2 tournaments, he's been pretty darn well.
Right.
So, I mean, he was 5th in this one, and he came in 2nd at Memorial. He wasn't really anywhere to be seen in Vegas if he played.
Yeah.
So, you know, that's nice to see them climb up with Aaron Gossage. But, yeah, so I kind of leave him the same at a B. All right, so then we have, we'll go Innova.
Oh.
So you gave them a D plus as in dog, and I gave them a straight D.
Okay. I'm going to stay the same.
Okay.
I haven't seen too much out of any of the... I mean, I haven't seen Haley.
No.
I mean, that was the notable big move for me. Besides, and that grade was mostly due to the people that they had lost. So, Owen's playing well. Jen Allen playing
super well.
Super well. I mean, that's been their, Hannah and Evelina. Meh.
Yeah.
Just meh.
I agree with you. I think that Haley King has been nowhere to be found. As a matter of fact, did she play?
No, she wasn't.
She did not play. Okay. And that was really their only big notable move.
Yeah.
And underperformed. So I'm actually going to drop him a grade and say D minus. I had him at a D. I'm going to put him at a D minus because I think the only reason I didn't put him at an F last time was because they had Haley King. They picked up Haley King.
I think Haley... Did she move up close to podium at Vegas? Was she like fourth?
If
Or something
she
like-
was, I don't know.
I thought she. Yeah,
I can look it up, but
I think she'll be back for Texas State's.
I think so. I think that was her next one when I was looking. So, yeah. So, but that's kind of where I put her
Yeah,
at.
she's at-
Yeah, she was fourth in, so she just shy of the podium. So
Yeah.
she made a good run the last round. So I guess she was in it.
Yeah.
But once again, just not moving a needle.
Right.
You know, like not being talked about, not being in that upper realm. So, and so yeah, I'm gonna just kind of bump them down a little bit to D- just because of underperforming, and it's not purely because of Haley, because Haley was a reason why they're not an F.
Yeah.
So, all right, and then we have, let's go with Prodigy. So Prodigy, we had a C- and a D. So I gave him a D. You gave him a C-.
Yeah, because they didn't make any real. They didn't add anybody, but they re-upped Gannon Burr, which was smart,
Huge, yeah.
and they re-upped Kevin Jones. So
Yep.
that was their big
And they
overall.
dropped Katrina Allen. They dropped a whole slew of people. Dickerson,
Matty-O.
Matty-O.
Yeah.
I mean, they dropped some pretty notable individuals.
Mm-hmm.
But so I'll go first on this one. So I gave them a D. I am going to push them up now. I'm going to put them into a C because of Gannon Burr and Kevin Jones. Gannon Burr obviously has been doing pretty well now. He finished 25th, if I remember rightly, at Waco here. But I mean, we all know the story of Vegas.
Yeah,
Like, he came out and performed. He's good on camera. He's good in interviews. I mean, like, for a 16-year-old, I wish I was that put together.
right.
I mean, I wish I was that put together. So I am super impressed with him, and I'm super impressed with Prodigy, seeing that in him, picking him up and snagging him for 2 years and then going, ha as he plays to this year. So super happy with Prodigy's choice, and so I give them a great bump for that.
And what did I give them?
You gave them a D. Oh, excuse me, C-. I had
Yeah,
it backwards.
I'll move them up to a C.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah, Kevin Jones re-up was good. Gannon Burr definitely moved the needle after Vegas, and then just notable, Thomas Gilbert's been playing really well,
Yes. Yes, he has.
so that's big for them as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, but with the two big, because Thomas Gilbert signed last year, I believe. So yeah, just based off the two big moves of re-signing, I'll bump them up a little bit.
All right. We'll go to the Lat 64 West Side.
Yeah,
So I had Lat 64 at a B-. You had them at a C+.
I'm going to bump them up to a B-.
To a B-. All
Yeah.
right.
Kirsten's been playing well after her contract extension, and so that's
Yep.
been huge.
Yep.
Rebecca Cox played decent at Vegas. She had re-upped, I think, for a year or 2 years. So I'm not sure about MPO, what moves they made, but based on that, yeah, I think having faith in Kristen is huge, and it's been paid off.
Agreed. Especially with all the talk going to Salonen and Blumroos, and they double down on Tatar. And Blumroos and Salonen just really haven't been in the picture as far as competition with Tatar.
Yeah.
There's just been no comparison between them. So I agree. I'm going to push them up one, and because I was at a B-, I'm going to go to a B because I think them doubling down on that is just great. And then Rebecca Cox has been showing up and doing well. And she was only 13th, so she isn't in the picture as far as numbers go, really, as far as competition and moving the needle, but she's still one more presence that we're seeing more consistently towards the top.
And she's playing better than last year so far.
Yes.
Like last year, she had a bumpy season and all season, and she fixed what she needed to fix. And yeah, so she's back. I guess, back to feeling better about her game.
Right. So now we talk about the distributor slash shop of Infinite Disc. Infinite Disc, we gave B minus you, and I gave them a C plus. I'm going to keep them at a C plus because, and I don't think we've seen Oakley out.
No, he's got
Unfortunately,
a thumb injury from what
Yeah.
I've heard.
so I think that's why I'm keeping them the same because I expected Eric to move the needle more. We just haven't seen it.
Right. Yeah. Like
Unfortunately.
it's kind of an incomplete grade.
Right.
Based on his performance, I haven't seen. Well, I mean, you could say Drew's win at Vegas could move the needle for them. I haven't seen a lot of Cole Rodallen either.
Right.
He had signed with them, so I'm gonna kind of keep them the same as well. Even though
Yeah, C plus.
Drew's signing, he's selling his discs sold well, everything that just came out, and I'm gonna just keep him the same though because I want to see when Eric Oakley comes back what he can do.
Right. Well, and something to note about Prodigy as well is Kalaviska.
Oh yeah.
With his new disc coming out and just his presence, especially at Waco here, I think he's moving the needle just a bit for them.
Sure.
With new presence. But to get back to Infinite, yeah, that's what it is. I think it's the missing grade. Their grade will go up once their assignments are in for Infinite.
And to go back to the latitude thing, something that we glossed over, we haven't seen Matty O.
Right, because
Like
he had the appendix.
Right, he played a lower tier event and won it, but we haven't seen him out on the tour yet. So
Yeah.
that's kind of incomplete as well.
Exactly. So I think with those, I'm confident with where we put a lot of stuff. I think there was some changes, but everybody's kind of congregating towards the middle now, right in that B range. Like I don't think we're having like, oh my goodness, this was one of the best choices they could have made. And I think the best choice that was made was Lat 64 with Tatar and DGA with
Katrina.
Allen.
Yeah. I think until somebody strings together some wins, or let's see. I mean, Kristen's got a couple more tournaments here yet before she goes back. Katrina so far has proven that she's gonna be on the podium. So
Right.
yeah.
Yeah. So I think we're gonna see a lot more movement. We'll get back to the grading probably within a couple more weeks again, just to kind of recap on what we think. But as of right now, that's kind of what we thought about it. As far as what these folks are doing and some of the discs that are coming out and all that stuff, I'm super excited to see a lot of this. And Dee Dee just dropped a Mandahano collector.
Yeah.
As far as for her win at Waco, which was really awesome. Good to see, to push some money to Mandahano for the win. So good thing to see the companies supporting her in the way that they know best, because I'm sure she got bonuses for it, but now she's getting disc sales as well.
Yeah,
So
that's sweet.
yeah, so really awesome. All right, so then we did our manufacturer grading. So Paul Uleberry, let's chat. You had saw something. Do you want to talk about that since we can't find the?
Yeah. So I was listening to Smashbox today when I was out delivering mail, and Pete and Paul Uleberry were on. Pete is Paul's older brother. He plays MP40. And so right after, I believe it was Memorial Day, there was news that came down that their mother's home had burned down,
what a
unfortunately. Pete hadn't lived there that long. Paul, it was kind of his childhood home, and he would come back and, pick discs up, kind of move around from there a little bit. Yeah, and unfortunately, what had happened was it was a trailer home. They had made significant upgrades to it, remodeled it and such, but the insurer wouldn't insure it because it was classified as a motorhome.
Okay.
So basically, what's happened is they have lost 30 years worth of
Man, what a bummer.
history at that home.
Yeah.
The amount of stuff that can't be recovered, family memories, everything is just gone. And fortunately for them, there is a GoFundMe that has been started to help them basically what they had said is it's started to kind of help them tear down the house, unfortunately. I mean, if they can get, any extra money to go towards building something new or purchasing another home of some sort, that'd be awesome. I don't have any further information. I'm sure you could go look up Ulibarri on GoFundMe or something. And
Yeah, probably
it
pull
would
something
pop
up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I mean, the disc golf community is awesome. We've seen people rally, we rally around causes for, people we like. Paul is very well known and very well liked, and I'm sure people will help, raise the spirits and rally around this cause.
Yep. Yeah, and I think that's awesome. And talking real, it's horrible how, some of these homes, like pre-manufactured or modular or anything like that, insurance, unfortunately, sometimes just doesn't cover certain things like this. And it is just simply a fact of the matter. And unfortunately, something happened, it burnt down. And so any support, if you go out there, just search GoFundMe, and I'm sure he would be more than happy with it. But, to lose 30 years of, I mean, I've only been in my house for 4 years, and if this thing burned down, like, I would be devastated.
Yeah.
It would suck, because there's so many memories here.
Right.
So anytime a home and people are displaced from their home and things like that, I mean, it's a hard going. So any support, I'm sure even just reaching out and saying, hey, sorry, I'm sure that's also just as good if you can't afford it. So.
All right, let's get to a lighter note on
Yeah,
the
exactly.
Ulibarris.
So we'll keep on Paul Ulibarri. So Paul Ulibarri is such an awesome, he is one of my favorite people, just simply because of his mentality, his attitude, his quirkiness, his combativeness, like the conflict he loves to have with Germ and their dynamic and Nate, and so just learning him and feeling like you get to know him. And when you look at his YouTube channel, I mean, it just truly seems that he's just one of those guys that you're best friends right away. He's super nice, super kind. And anytime I've ever seen him out at a event, he's always joking, always having fun. He's just a super fun loving guy. The one thing he's doing now, though, we'll talk about the Paul Ulibarri Leadership Foundation. So the Paul Ulibarri Leadership Foundation is a foundation that is helping budding disc golfers, whether it be college, high school, but he's helping them to pursue the sport of disc golf, either through scholarship or through monetary help with getting to places, whatever it may be. But what he's doing is trying to help them not have to make the hard choices that he had to make between scholarship to school or go play disc golf. Why not do both?
Yeah.
He's trying to help that transition with people. So, I think it's an honorable cause. I think it's a great cause. And I'm excited to see more about it.
Yeah. Yeah. I haven't seen, apart from what we had listened to a little bit earlier, I haven't seen too much. I saw an Instagram post where he was talking with whoever he had set it up with.
Yeah.
And it said there would be more details to come. So,
Right.
Yeah, I'm excited to hear. I think, there's a lot of, obviously, disc golf is kind of growing as a college sport. I mean, so anybody that wants to take the jump to be from college, if they're there playing and want to get out on the pro tour, or even, younger kids now, like Gannonberg, Colwell, Dallin, if they're showing promise and you want to, maybe it's down the road, you can reach out to Paul and his foundation and see what's available.
Yep. I think that's awesome. So anytime you can give him, a little support or shout out, and just keep looking out for what's going to come out with him. On the Paul Ulibarri note, the Paul Ulibarri discs, the compact carts from Zuka, are now actually a stock run of carts. So it's a signature series cart for Zuka, and we're actually going to get them in the shop.
Yeah.
And we're going to officially become an online retailer. We don't have to pay the $10,000 either. So Zuka has changed their stance on their disc golf portion of their business to say you don't have to have the $10,000 in merchandise in order to. So
that's cool.
We'll be putting some up online as soon as our store gets approved. So making big moves here. So, all right. So, we're going to move on to some fun and exciting question of the week. So, here's the question of the week.
Okay.
You're going to love it.
Oh boy.
If you were making your own Batman movie and you could cast only pro disc golfers, who would you cast as which characters? And what we'll do is the characters are going to be Batman, Robin, Joker, and Catwoman.
Okay.
So those are the four. And we can add Riddler if you want to add Riddler to keep it more relevant to the newest Batman.
Okay.
So,
which is phenomenal. Have you seen it?
I haven't yet. I want to, though.
Dempsey and I went to see it. It was awesome.
Oh, it's good, man. I don't have time to go see it. We're leaving for Florida tomorrow.
Yeah. When you have a chance, go see it.
It's maybe good. On our trip. Maybe it'll be just one of those quiet nights, and I'll hit it and go watch it with my son or something.
It's creepy, a bit creepy.
Oh, so maybe it's not a.
Well, I mean, Dempsey's 10, and I took him, and he's like, "This is my favorite movie ever."
Oh, that's awesome.
I was like, "Oh, wow, okay, cool."
Yeah, a little different. So he goes onto the dark side.
Yeah.
Okay, so is it a lot like the Christian Bale?
Darker.
Darker than the Christian Bale one?
Yes.
Holy moly! So, and the Riddler's in this one, and Catwoman, right?
And the Penguin,
and the Penguin.
Yeah.
Kinda.
Yeah. No, he's in it. I don't want to give too much away. If you're a fan of the comics, it is a true detective, like Batman as a detective movie. Yeah, it pretty much is.
So he's not a pseudo superhero in this one. It's kinda, but
it takes place in his second year as being Batman.
Okay.
So he's still trying to kind of figure things out.
So do they have pow and boom and bang? No,
not like
it's
Adam
not
West.
That one. Okay, it's not Adam West. Sorry. All right. So Jordan, we'll start with Jordan. So Jordan says Batman he would cast as Ezra Aderhold. Robin he would cast as Ben Calloway. Joker would be Luke Humphreys.
Okay.
And Catwoman would be Little Paige Shue.
Oh.
So
nice.
There you go.
Okay.
Oh man, this is one I didn't think about this one enough. Okay. So the Joker would absolutely hands down be maybe not just hands down. Would be Big Germ.
Okay.
Without a doubt. And then if I had to cast Catwoman, I would say I'd say Katrina Allen.
Okay.
And then Robin. Robin is definitely Paul Ulibarri. and then Batman. Oh man, it would be Brody Smith.
Oh, wow.
I don't know why. He just screams Batman to me.
Okay. Interesting.
Yeah, that's what I'll go. Okay. That's what I'll go with.
My Joker, I was torn between this role for him, is going to be Kevin Jones.
Okay, I like it.
I think he's funny on the GK Pro skins. Catwoman. This one's a bit tricky for me. I think I would go with Kristen Tatar.
Okay.
Yeah.
See, this is Catwoman's the hard one because you don't want to womanize. Like you don't want to do that number. Like, well, I think she would look good in leather. So I was just trying to
way to put that one out there, Shane.
Hey, I'm just being real. Yeah. I didn't want to do that, So I really think, anyway, so Kristen Tatar, so it's hard. It's like a delicate situation. So when I was thinking about it,
I know what you mean. I know what you mean. But as a cat burglar, I think she's got like a personality. I think she could have a personality where she's like tough and on her own.
Exactly. That's why I see out of Katrina Allen. Like, she's just that one that's going to do what she needs to do to make sure she's successful.
Yeah. Okay. Robin. I'm going to pick Gannon Burr.
Okay.
as young Robin.
But Robin's not that tall.
Whatever.
I've been dismissed.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, that's true. But whatever. Batman. Batman's hard for me.
I'm trying to think who has that deep, dark, sinister.
Calvin Heinberg.
So I was gonna get to. So let's go. Okay, I like it. Let's go to the wild card of the Riddler.
Okay.
Calvin Heinberg.
Yeah.
Heinberg for me, without a doubt. Calvin Heinberg.
Yeah. The Riddler for me. I'm going to say Thomas Gilbert.
Oh, well, I like that one too.
Yeah.
Should we do Penguin or do we not want to do that?
We could do Penguin.
Okay.
I mean, I'm down to do however many Batman villains that we want to do.
All right.
Who's Commissioner Gordon? I mean, Paul. Maybe.
Paul. Macbeth?
Macbeth is Commissioner Gordon.
Commissioner Gordon, because of the commish?
Maybe.
Nate Sexton
Okay.
is the commish. All right. Who is the Penguin? So, in the new one, who is Penguin? Is Penguin the like creepy, like gutter rat, like?
He is kind of a crony for Carmine Falcone, who's the big crime lord in Gotham City. Like he in other movies, Penguin takes on a much bigger role.
Right. Yeah.
So yeah, he's still kind of a gangster kind of
Okay. So he's kind of an underling of sorts.
for now. Yeah.
Okay. Who do you think is? I'm gonna say.
Oh man, I'm gonna change my Batman pick. Keil LaVisca.
Oh, he would be a good Batman.
Yes. I think Keil LaVisca is a good Batman.
Yeah. Nico LaCastro for Penguin.
Okay. I just saw his name pop up. I was like, yeah, that could be him.
Uh-huh.
And
Oh, Keil LaVisca. That's a great Batman.
yeah, I think so.
Oh, what a great Batman. That was a good choice. I feel kind of jealous.
Yeah, I don't know. That's as far as I go.
It's hard. Yeah.
It is.
All right. So that's who we think.
Yep.
So play along at home, throwoutdoordisc.com if you want to play along and name who you think would be one. If we think you got one that is a little bit better than ours or a lot better than ours, then I would say, because there's some notables. I mean, like.
Oh, I just thought. Well, no. I was going to say Kyle Klein could be Robin, too.
That would be a good Robin.
Yeah.
Especially with the way his dynamic is with Eagle. I think that would be a good Robin.
Yeah.
Oh, I like that one. All right. Shop updates. So we have the Disc Golf Answer Man merchandise in store. So everything's here. Everything's ready to be purchased. It's online. Just go ahead, jump online, and just look up. We have a tab specifically for all the Disc Golf Answer Man stuff. And Eric Oakley had reached out, and we may be doing something with him as well, or with him through Infinite about Disc Golf Answer Man. I don't know how it's going to work.
About Disc Golf Answer.
Who knows? I don't know.
Okay.
I'm not exactly sure because he's
That's
part of
a
the Disc
mouthful.
Golf Answer Man.
Right.
So I'm not sure. Haven't talked to him. Haven't got any details yet, but hopefully we'll see something coming through them. And he did reach back out to me. So I've
That's
heard.
surprising.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I had mentioned before that reaching out to Tina is the way to go.
Yeah. I bugged. So I sent him a message and then I was like, hey, tell, because I think I've sent him 2 other messages in the past. And I'm sure he gets a ton. And
Yeah.
But I told Bobby, I was like, Bobby, tell Eric to answer me because he called me out. So,
Right. Right.
let's get this moving.
Flip it on.
So we'll be seeing something like that. I mentioned we just purchased some more Zukas. We got Ulibarri carts coming in, and we have another one of the signature carts coming in. We got a couple other compacts coming in because we did sell a few over the past week. And then I think outside of that, Caden Stalkey just got married. He's one of the co-owners in Door Disc Golf, and I bought him as his wedding gift because I was a slacker and a slouch and a horrible person, and I did not buy him anything for his wedding. So I told his now wife, Tay, she was actually on the phone when we were speaking. I said, I'm sorry, you're just going to have to get your half of it out of his enjoyment. And I got him a cart.
Oh, nice.
Because he's the MVP guy and he has a watermelon bag.
Yeah.
So we got a watermelon themed cart. So I asked him what colors he wanted and I got it all going for him.
That's cool.
So I got the large backpack cart and I bought him an insert for it just in case he didn't want to throw the bag in there. So
Sure.
And then we ordered. Oh, what? I was going to bring it up when we were chatting about what we purchased. Yeah. Well, nevertheless, we have some more stuff coming in. So, doordisc.com, or if you can hit us up on our Instagram, and that has our link tree, which has every other account that we have. And it's it is door_disc_golf. And then, JP, where can they find you?
One night.owl on Instagram, and then you can probably reach out to me on Facebook or whatever too if you know me or find me.
Right. So
I'm like Batman.
Yeah.
He's
He's going to be in his bat cave.
Yeah.
Do you remember that Snickers commercial?
No.
You don't remember the Snickers commercial? So dude was in a football game, gets knocked out, and the trainer comes over to him and says, son, are you with us? Yeah. Who are you? I'm Batman.
No, I don't remember that one.
He goes, do you know where you live? The Bat Cave. And he's just like laying passed out on. Yeah. Oh, and so they do a series. There's like 4 or 5 of them. I'll have to show you when we get off here. Right. So it's really good. But yeah. So other than that, you guys have an awesome one. We are gonna do. We're gonna try to get a bunch of just shorts done because I and my children are going down to Tampa, then to Orlando, then like Nashville, Chattanooga, Kentucky.
Cool.
We're doing a road trip, so we're going to be gone for about 10 days. So I won't be here to record for 2 Wednesdays straight. But I think we got a bunch of questions that we can go over and just do quick questions, and we'll just drop little 15-minute episodes throughout the next 2 weeks.
Sounds good.
Sounds good. Other than that, have a good day. Keep us up par. Peace.